They've tested this on mice, haven't they? No, I'm worried if they haven't tested it on mice.
Thank God for that.
It's definitely been tested on mice.
Definitely.
They fed a mouse a load of cake.
Yeah.
Right? And it went a little bit chubby, and he said, right, stop a minute. And then they gave it this drug that makes you lose weight.
Yeah.
And its weight went down, but the only bad side effect was its eyes were popping out.
Well, that seems to be fine then. Let's give it to Jono. There doesn't seem to be any problem.
Oh, Rick should get some of that.
Struth, Doc, look at these. Oh, Jesus, Jono, your eyes are popping out. That happened to the mice. Sorry? That happened to the mice.
But what
do you mean?
That's the option.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay, then you're going to change with that, Carl.
Because a show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
And when we do present
and dare I say it, some planning.
Yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah, but I've got some planning here.
Go on then.
Quizzes. What I did was, when I was on holiday...
Yeah.
Right, you said, you know, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of,
thinking.
sort of nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So...
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's good advice for anyone out there.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
If you're interested in ideas.
Carl is presently running a course writing for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson one, isn't it? Just rip something else off.
Just do an idea and change the title slightly.
Yeah,
Well,
go on.
this one I haven't really got I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking, strike it, Ricky.
That's all you've got?
That's
what you've come up with. How long did that take?
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay, yeah, well, no, good. No, we all have hits and misses. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, you know, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay, no, it's a good. Go on.
Do you remember Big Brother?
Yeah. Do I remember Big Brother? No, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's heavy, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
All right, forget that. Right, here. Here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah. No.
The Price is Right. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The rice is right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is. A modern.
That one.
Go on then. Let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. What do you read from what?
Well, I'll get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it will be pilau, and anything you read out that is...
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, then you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
No, because then the name wouldn't work. The rice is right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you're working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm so confused. I don't know where I am or what day it is.
A programme that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing the Rice is Right
I
either.
don't understand the Rice is Right.
No, go on.
I'll tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Or they wouldn't be binning it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase. Or something.
That's one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
Oh,
Cross it out.
Forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Smallest person ever. Right? How big would you say that is?
Carl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right? The odd thing was...
But why have you asked me how... Did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you didn't.
Jesus.
I just saw it and thought, oh, that's...
What, you straight away
assumed
assumed it was natural size?
it was that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella, like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was, because it said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line. I always read the first line. It said, "World's
Well
smallest
done.
man."
Well done.
The weird thing is, he's got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
Oh, God.
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Don't know. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh
Yeah.
at his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that, but he was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple?
What is this? In what world do you inhabit?
No, this was on the internet. And I printed it
Leaning
off.
on an apple? Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you, sorry, can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple there. Do me a favour, will you stand next to my chihuahua? You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all, no. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so it just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man, said about his head being like a light bulb. I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do. That's that sorted Cheeky Freak of the Week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right? I found that. I thought that's done. Printed it off. Forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play record.
That you got to...
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say,
there's no
Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if I
point.
say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say this
in
on
this charade.
radio. Hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
This is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going some news, some stuff. How big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play record.
I remember when I did my wristing, then it fixed. I went temping bowling.
Why did you do your
So it's what you did. Brilliant. So next week's quiz is what am I thinking? You're an idiot, Carl. Play a record.
Who's the winner?
Why did you do your wristing?
Crash.
what?
Crash. Had a crash.
You had a crash?
Yeah.
That sounds like a story we've not explored.
Not much to it. I just went on a free sort of rally day. Got in this car. I'd been working all night, right? So I wasn't the best condition to be whizzing around a track in a car.
Sure.
Like a Formula 1 type car.
Yeah.
Spun out of control, hit some mud, smashed it all in, wrote it off, and I didn't realise I'd done a load of damage until...
Well, you landed on your head, but you were fine.
Yeah.
Who's the winner?
Mike Godley.
The weird thing with her was, she had big eyelids.
Right. Go on.
That were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What
right?
do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she had big eyelids?
It was another one of them popular things around our way. Do you know? Like,
What do you mean popular things? They
think
didn't
people
go, they go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all the rage. Can I get some big eyelids, please?
No. It was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's one of the popular things around where I grew up. People had big eyelids, they could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean? What sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads. You got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Just too much skin. It was like the neck of a chicken. But on the eyes.
What's your point? Anyway, so there's this big eyelided woman with the leggings.
And that's what I'm saying to you, though. That's when I read that story with people with trousers.
Yeah.
I went from that.
Yeah.
To a woman who used to have big eyelids. I still know the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Yeah.
His dad had it, and same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I used to say to my mum, I'm going round to Dave's house.
Yeah.
And
Or Drew
say,
Pig,
well,
as you call him.
that's all right, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car because he could hardly see. He had to have his head.
He gets to tilt his head back to keep his eyelids open.
Sure. Did he have a couple of matches with him at all times?
What a load of gobbledygook. This began as educating Ricky.
I know,
So
it's
what,
like
he was
people
thinking,
with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well. If
Yeah.
I mentioned the trousers, Ricky will probably be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Carl. And it's our name on this. They put up a, but as I said before, you know, he is no offence, he's not a bright lad or educated or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
well,
some things he says does border on the retarded.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
I've been trying to take in too much information though. That's the problem recently. Well, I said to you last week, I've been like reading more books and what have you, and trying to take in too much. But the problem is, like even watching telly and that now. Suzanne said to me, you know, stop doing that. Stop watching telly late at night and going to bed, because it's making your brain too active. And I'm sort of
Heaven forbid.
And you know, I'm trying to get to sleep and I can't. And then when I wake up, she had a go at me the other day, right? Because it was the night after watching The Fat Baby, right? Woke up in the morning, and she had a go at me because as soon as I woke up, I said something like, "How can you freeze time?" And she says, "Aren't you going to say good morning or whatever?"
I'm gonna burst! Just imagine it, right? It's that the sun comes up through the window. Oh, she's like, Carl's like that, his little head. His eyes open, he goes,
One of those floppy night hats.
how can you freeze time? Oh, God.
Well, it's because, like, whatever, the night before I might have heard that on the news or whatever, and it's just been sort of whizzing around my head.
Sure.
And, you know, it was a big debate. I think have they found a way of doing it or something?
What are you talking about?
They've done something about freezing time and all that.
See, this isn't information, this is nothing. That is nothing, that. They've done something about freezing time. Imagine Jeremy Paxman coming on, going, "Well, the issues tonight said something about freezing time." It's you think before you talk.
No, but I don't worry about how to do it. I just think about what effects that will
Oh,
have.
they haven't asked you to get involved.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. You can't explain it. It's a tough thing, isn't it? But what's the point in me worrying
It's
about
not a
that?
question. Do you know what he said to me the other day? This is unbelievable. This is one of the most stupid, incredible things I've ever heard. He was talking, and he suddenly stopped, and he was thinking about it, and he went, "Oh, I don't know what." He went, "You'd never see a black ghost."
Extraordinary.
True, though, isn't it?
I've never seen a ghost, full stop.
There are no ghosts. There aren't ghosts.
No, but I mean when you just see them in, like, magazines and that.
Play a record!
Pay for tools. You know, I do that thing, a monthly payment of a £5, paying for, you know, toolbox and that for someone out there. I help old people, which I'm going to stop, to be honest.
Why?
Because, do you know this thing I do, Steve, right?
No.
This is a £5 a month as well, right? I got stopped in Leicester Square one day. He said, "Oh, there's a little old woman somewhere. She's cold. Are you going to help her out?" So I was like, "Oh, why me?" Right? So anyway, so they said it's easier if people look after one old woman, right? So
Why me?
I've signed up to look after this old woman called, I don't know, call her name June or whatever. It doesn't matter. So
It does to her, but go on.
So anyway, so I'm paying this £5 a month, and the first £5, you know, first time I paid it, I got this thing in the post, right? And it had, you know, "Thanks a lot, Carl. You're looking after June. Here she is, you know, here's a little picture of her, and she's sat there, what have you, with a cardigan on and stuff like that. Every £5 you pay, you know, it'll be cheering her up, and, you know, look after her, pay for her food and what have you." So, for a bit, you feel good, don't you? And you think, well, I've done my bit for the world. Anyway, 2 months later, get another package, right? Picture of June in there again. She's got a tan. So he's saying you're paying to keep her warm. No, they meant a week in Mallorca or whatever. And this is what I mean. People if they can get away with it.
I don't know where to start!
That isn't having a go though.
What do you think? So what do you think? You think they're going, don't bother getting a job or anything. Go off a bit, isn't it? Go off a bit. It's June,
I
isn't
don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult.
So you think Sir Bob should just wash his hands of the whole affair? You think it's a complete waste of time? Is that what you're saying? That you should just leave them to it? Just leave them to it, let them sink ever more into debt, ever more into hunger. You just think that should just carry on?
Do you know what I think he's saying? I think, now I'm not putting words in your mouth, are you saying they blew the last lot we gave them, they've got to learn a lesson? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say
Is
that.
that what you're thinking?
No,
What are you thinking?
I'm not thinking anything like that. All I was thinking is about this gig. It might have been better to do it, like, rather than, I don't know, ruining a grass field in Edinburgh and that. Do it out in Africa, right? Get people out there, get the tourists up. Do you know what I mean? Get a load of people out there. They've got loads
I
of...
don't reckon he's going to get people to walk to Edinburgh. I very much doubt
No, but
people are going to fly to Addis Ababa to see Coldplay.
cheap flights and what have you.
Right?
Hot dog stands and that. Locals will love that, right? Job done.
Brilliant. Let's put him in charge.
Yeah, just for one day.
Let's put him in charge of Live Aid. If Bob Geldof is listening, I know you respect him because he used to work on XFM.
No, but he's
if
done a lot
Bob,
as
if
well.
you're listening, please, I would love. Oh my God, a conversation. Bob Geldof talking to. Forget Kate Bush. Forget
That would be
Helmer.
amazing.
Can Bob please call in and speak to Carl? No one call except Bob, so we know it's Bob calling. Right, get on the phone.
What's the phone number? What's the phone number?
Can't we talk to him next week?
He might be busy next week.
No,
He's
he
got
won't.
stuff to organise.
You won't, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can talk to us next week, right? I'm not going to go. I'll go through the phones. It's mental.
Play a record.
Right, what we're having? Bit of killers.
Yeah. But I still call Carl every day anyway.
Oh, sure.
I called him a couple of days ago.
Of course you do.
And I went, it was the weekend, I went, what are you doing? He went, oh, just in Regent's Park and that. I went, what are you doing? He said, just going for, oh, Jesus. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. God, it's there, it's wriggling around. I went, sure a bird didn't just drop it. He looked at it and went, oh yeah. There's a bird.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
For a moment, he thought caterpillars were raining from the sky.
I thought I was in Chicken Licking.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Why did you think a caterpillar had fallen out of the sky?
I don't know. It just startled me a bit.
I love Carl being startled.
I like the idea of him straight on the phone to Trevor McDonald. Look, Trevor, there's caterpillars, insects falling out of the sky. They're falling out of the sky now. Put it on the news, quick. You sure there wasn't a bird? Oh, there was a bird. Yeah, sorry, Trev. Bye.
But it was after, like, I hung up the phone and that from you. I sort of sat there for a bit watching it.
I imagine him cross-legged, just in front of it.
But do you know
On the
what?
grass.
Because of his shape, the shape of his head, and his sort of IQ, I bet the caterpillar was thinking, Mama.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Go on.
And it was sort of running about all over the place, right, Steve? So the caterpillars have loads of feet and that, don't they?
Well, they have 6 legs. They're actually larvae of an insect. They have 6 legs, but they have little sucker things to hold on to the back of cabbages and that.
No, they've got more than that.
They've
It's
got, I'll
loads.
tell you, they've got 6 true legs. Trust me. Trust me, I'm a scientist.
And you were thinking what, Carl?
Well,
But they've got little pods. They've got little pseudo pod legs and little suckers. Yeah.
But it was running about, like, everywhere, right, mental, but sort of running off to the left, and then it sort of went back to where it was, then back, you know, went right and what have you, and I'm just thinking, whoever gave them the legs, right, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that? Do you know what I mean? If you can get about...
Imagine that sentence. Did you hear that sentence? Can we play that sentence back?
No, I don't think we can.
Imagine who gave him that legs.
Whoever gave him them legs, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that?
And that. Always and that.
And that, but maybe you just, to be fair to the caterpillar, with all its legs, okay, and you know where it was going, it had just been plucked from its house by a bird, shot up into the sky, and then dropped from 80 feet, hitting the ground.
Onto the head of a weird, bold-shaved monkey.
It was probably concussed.
Yeah, it's one of them things again, though.
But it still knew more about the world than you. How does that make you feel?
I just think it's a waste of time having all them feet. It's the same thing as the...
Now it's got feet
Yeah.
now.
It has a
Oh,
nightmare
yeah.
buying shoes, doesn't it, Carl?
all the, what was it you were saying about leeches and that? Because we were talking about insects.
Well, they're not
It's just all
insects.
these-
They're not insects.
What are they?
Well, I think they're probably probably platyhelminth. Probably a
Yeah.
sort of like a flatworm type thing.
That's what you were thinking, wasn't it, Carl?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what the phylum is, but they'd be.
So what do you want to do before you die? Anything? Any achievements you want to have?
Well, if I'm ill, I'd prefer to go to the doctors than to go with the dolphins.
Yeah.
Why are you suddenly ill? It's not, they don't, when they say things to do before you die, they don't literally mean the sort of, the day before.
They mean
you croak it.
that you want to experience life. You can do it over the next 20
Is
years.
that what you thought you meant? Like, literally
Is
the
that
24
what you
hours
meant?
before
Like
you
a
die?
priest there going, give me the lift. What is it, Grandad? Dolphins. You know, it's no fit state, Grandad. Get me in the water. Get me down to Brighton. What do you think that list means?
Well, yeah, that, you know, before you die.
You're incredible, Carl.
Amazing.
You're all this time.
Things to do before you die.
That's why he doesn't want to do any of them.
Didn't you think it was a bit extraordinary that you
So
had to
what
try
you-
and swim with dolphins and visit Disneyland and climb Mount Kilimanjaro all in the same afternoon?
That's why I said to you, I would be in no mood for a dip.
That's incredible! Always a new twist on things. Always a new twist on things.
But you say about travelling and that, you like travelling and stuff, but what, why?
Because I've seen and experienced extraordinary things. You know, I went to Kenya once. I met a man who was a vigilante. He was cleaning up his neighbourhood because the police were too corrupt to do it. Carried a sword, and you know he was extraordinary. Just he'd been attacked, but he didn't care. He fought them off. He was trying in this little slum area to try and instill some law and order. He had to arrest his brother-in-law once. It was a fascinating story, and he was an extraordinary man.
I went to Manchester and I saw two lads with big heads and webbed feet looking at a house. There was a horse in the living room. I mean,
That's living.
Leave it then. Listen, I didn't realise it's like 7 minutes to, right?
well, come on then.
Well, let's do Rockbusters on
Yeah, do Rockbusters. And you got monkey news.
Well, we'll see if we've got time.
What towns have you been to? Have you travelled at all?
I've been about a bit, yeah.
Right, okay, then what towns did you like? Okay, forget Manchester. That's safe. You like Manchester. Right, I'll do the big
stop
three.
shouting.
London, New York, Paris. Okay, you don't like London, even though you live here. Got flats here. Good, excellent. That makes sense. Have you been to New York?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's an amazing city,
Didn't
isn't it?
like it. It's just noisy, it's smelly.
Right, it's the city that never sleeps.
Well, I'm not surprised with all the racket and that.
Paris, the city of love, the most romantic city in the world.
Not really. I remember seeing an old woman in McDonald's in there, and it put me off. That's where that thing happened, where the
What?
old woman was.
What's that? Tell us.
We talked about it before. The old woman in McDonald's.
Yeah,
Well,
what
she was
happened?
she was sat in the corner there with her legs open, no knickers on. All right.
Oh God!
That's Paris.
Did that put you off your cheeseburger?
Next city. Where next?
Have you been to, I don't know, the most beautiful city, Venice?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
It's good?
No.
Why?
Because they sell it to you as if it is a romantic city.
Where did you see it sold?
No, I saw it on when I was growing up. Right, remember 321 with Ted Rogers?
Yeah, of course,
Right, it used to
Dusty
be one of
Bin.
the star prizes on there.
Right.
And they'd say, "Let's show you the video. Let's see what you're going to. Let's see where you're going to be loving
Yeah.
it for a couple of weeks." And they'd show you this scene
Yeah.
of like the gondolas
Yeah.
and all the city lit up at night,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a man and woman sat on a boat loving
Yeah.
it and stuff.
Yeah.
I went there, bin bags everywhere.
Play a record!
Yeah, it's a mess.
Play a record.
It's London,
That
flooded.
is Wish You Were Here with Carl Pilkington.
All right.
It's London flooded.
Now, Carl, we're going to do another edition, I think, of Wish You Were Here, because that really cheered you up, didn't it?
So,
Where else you been? Have you been, you've been around Europe, haven't you? You've been to any hot country? You've been to Greece,
Greece.
Turkey?
Done Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
Been to Turkey. Little fellas. Little midgets working in the canteen in the hotel I was in.
Okay.
Hassling Suzanne as well.
Okay. Have you been to Scotland?
Once for the Edinburgh Festival.
Go on.
That's where I looked out in my hotel room, saw a traffic warden putting a ticket on some bin bags
Brilliant.
because they'd gone into the road.
So that's Turkey, Scotland. What about places here? Have you been to the West Country where we?
Been to my neck of the woods, Bristol,
I haven't been out. What else is around there?
Bath.
Been to Bath.
Yeah, what do you make of it?
Once you've been, probably don't need to go again because it's sort of old and they don't change anything.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
That'll be
So
the
once you've
Roman
been-
spa
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about,
Right,
I think. What about Brighton?
Not gay people.
Right, okay, thank you. Next week on Wish You Were Here, we'll go to some other places where there are gay people.
Fascinating. And
Brilliant.
Another extraordinary insight there. Carl, could we have some monkey news?
Well, just before we do monkey news, right? Can I do a little psychological test on you?
On me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant, this. Someone emailed it in.
Brilliant.
Right. Little story with a question at the end.
Okay.
Right? Right.
This is going to be so annoying.
No, it's not, honestly.
Well, it is, because you're going to think it's science and it's going to be trite.
Alright, well...
Go on.
Right. Little story first, right? There's this funeral, right? And this girl was at a funeral.
Same funeral?
Yeah.
Right.
It was a mother's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She met this fella who she didn't know, right? But she thought this fellow who she met was amazing. She didn't know him, right? But she thought he was brilliant, right? Like a dream fella.
Right.
And she fell in love with him, right? But never asked for his number, his phone number, right? And she couldn't find him. Now, a few days later, the girl killed her own sister, right?
Yes.
Question is, why did she do that?
Okay, well, it's one of those stupid things then, isn't it? So it's not logic, it's what am I thinking?
No, it's not. So it's a proper, it's a proper
real
mental
logic.
test. It's
It's
a proper mental test.
A mental test. It is a bit mental.
So you understand the story, yeah?
Kind of. Let me just get it right. So there's a funeral. A girl goes to the funeral of her mother. Yeah. She meets the guy, or she
meets the guy at the funeral.
She meets the bloke.
He looks all right. I fancy a bit of that.
Right.
Has a chat with him,
Yeah.
but doesn't get his name, doesn't get a phone number or anything.
So cut a long story short, the things are asked, right? So the reason she kills her own sister, is this something to do with finding out something about the man she met?
Well, just answer the thing. Just why do?
Oh, okay then. I'll answer it then. She went mental. He was a spy called Derek. What do you mean? Just answer it.
Anyway, I'm testing Steve.
Right. Well, she killed her own sister because her sister had stolen some money from her and was sleeping with her husband.
Is that it?
Well, I don't know. Carl, I don't know.
It's an answer. It's an answer.
I don't know.
What's the answer on the paper? So,
Well, come on.
come on.
Well, the answer is
No, an answer is.
that she was hoping that the guy would appear at the funeral again. He'd go to the funeral.
Right, that's not a proper psychological test.
It is,
It's one of
it
those
says
stupid little shitty things.
It says
It's
here-
like a man goes into a field and dies. Why? His parachute didn't open. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm surprised you learn anything. Honest to
I
God.
love
I'm
that.
surprised you
Romeo
learn
and
anything.
Juliet. Oh, Juliet's a fish.
It said she was hoping that the guy would appear again at the funeral. If you answered this correctly, you think like a psychopath. This was a test by a famous fella, right, who used it on killers, and most of the killers got the answer right.
Did you also think that? Was that the answer you gave when you first read
I
it?
didn't know. But I wondered what you would have got.
Good. So that's proof that I'm not a psychopath.
but that's the point. But it's a psychological test for looking at something very, very specific.
What's up with that?
Well, what was the best that could happen? That he'd got it right, so he is a psychopath.
What annoys me is you're not happy with that test, but before you wasted 3 minutes trying to balance a pear on my head. What were you getting out of that?
Let's play a song and have some monkey news.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right.
Come on. Come on.
Should be ready, Carl.
That's amazing, isn't it? It's like Nicholas Witchell. The bomb. No, that's not the first. Come on!
No, it's always difficult, isn't it, to sort of find something that's good each week, right? Last week we did the chimp.
It is for us, yeah.
We had the chimps who were running a health spa.
Yeah.
Right. We've covered the one who nicked a car to go on to Spain.
Yep.
To
Wow.
sort his future out.
All shite.
The hairdresser, I think we've done that one, the little monkey hairdresser. This week we're looking at monkeys that they use in. Do you know, like monkeys? They know how like.
I've lost the will to live, Steve.
Oh, well, I don't want to do it.
Well, come on, come on.
What are monkeys good at?
What a monkey's good at?
Yeah.
Well, running small businesses, cutting people's hair, and driving cars.
Yeah, they love Spain.
Oh, and foiling bank robberies.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, something else they're good at, right, is like weighing up the situation.
Oh God!
If you stick them in like a field with loads of like obstacles on it, right, they're good at sort of, I can get over that, I know how to climb over that, I'll swing from there to there, that sort of thing, right?
Okay.
So the people in charge of somewhere, I've thought,
Somewhere.
I thought we can use that skill, right? And what they've done is they've got a load of little monkeys, right? They've given them an IQ test.
Yeah.
And the ones that score above 80, right?
Get to produce this show next week.
Join the army.
Right. How do they join the army and what do they do?
They just, what they do is they set little obstacle courses up for them. They do that. They do a cross-country run. They do the IQ
Cross-country
test.
run?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once they've done all that, they make them a little uniform, made to measure little uniform.
Slightly longer arms, shorter legs than usual, yeah.
Yeah. And basically then they taught how to use a gun and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course they are. You're talking rubbish again.
This came through literally, you know, pretty late on. So
you've not had a chance to corroborate all the facts as usual.
just have a look.
Right. It's the bit I'm looking for is, well, A, why are they doing it? Why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Why do we need monkeys in the army? And secondly, why are we giving them guns? I'll
Yeah.
just check to see if any of that.
I love
information
that
is
we
empty.
only let gays in recently.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Just have a look.
I can't read it. There's too much pressure.
Well, it's
I need to-
rubbish.
Just have a.
But it's rubbish. They don't get. It's the way that there are things. There are animal cores, right? There are horses. There are dolphins, sea lions. You know, there are lots and lots of animals in the army, but they don't have to pass an obstacle test as such, and they're not taught to fire guns. You've straight away assumed that there's going to be loads of squads of men, and then just one little monkey in the middle. Like, you know, he came second on the test. He's in, boys.
What do you think, Steve? You've read it?
Well, as ever, Carl, this is an arbitrary email sent by one of our listeners. You know what Ricky and I think of them. and so we're not really basing this on hard evidence. We're basing it on the ramblings of one of our listeners.
Rubbish. Once again, lazy, rubbish, uncorroborated, nonsense. The stupid test that you got wrong.
Rick, that sounds like monkey news to me.
Offensive for some reason. I don't agree with it, but some people do.
Yeah.
I'm saying everyone swears.
Bleep it out, I would.
Well, this
Bleep it out. Bleep it out, that's my theory.
But you say that everyone swears. Not everyone does swear. I don't know why you've got this in your head that everyone swears.
I'm convinced. Everyone.
What? Everyone? Like, you know, religious people, religious leaders?
Jesus. I bet Jesus swore.
Right. What's your evidence for that?
No, I'm just thinking, I mean, things are better now than they were back then, right?
Right.
He's wandering about in his sandals getting pebbles stuck in there and stuff, and that's annoying. Nails in his hand, that must have hurt. What I'm saying is...
That's offensive.
No, it's not, though.
That's blasphemous.
No, but what I'm...
Don't laugh at the crucifixion. Play a record.
I'm not laughing at that, though.
That is terrible.
I'm just saying...
No, you can email in if you want to complain. Carl.
Yeah?
.pilgrims@xfm.co.uk.
Wasn't offensive, though. I'm just saying it's a fact. When you stub your little toe, you let out a little
And
effing
what
and
do you think
jeffing.
is you? It's an effing and jeffing. So the kind of ancient Hebrew version of effing and jeffing.
Ooh, I'm worried about this. This is naughty.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Just, I'm worried about
When
this.
did you start swearing?
I started swearing at school.
Right.
I hope you haven't offended any Christians.
But I was the sort of kid who she would have hated at school because I never had, like, a pen.
Oh, yeah, I know what sort you are. Never a pencil case or any stuff.
I'd start off the term, I would. I'd have, like, you know, a brand new carrier bag with my stuff in.
Brand new
Yeah,
carry bag, classy.
And,
Well, you've got to have somewhere to put the stuff you've nicked from Woolworths in, haven't you?
right, so that'd be there. But then by the time, like, a couple of weeks down, I'd put my pen down, I would have lost it, and then I'm sort of going around saying, can I borrow a pen?
You didn't try sticking up your nose. It's not still lodged up there.
It's not, no. But the funny thing with, like, you know, you were talking about teachers and stuff.
Were you disruptive? Were you a disruptive kid? Were you
Not
the sort of
really.
causing trouble?
No, not really. I was
No,
one
he
of
wouldn't
them.
cause trouble. He's terrified of the boss here, isn't he?
No, it's not that. It's just that what's the point in winding people up? I find it quite annoying if people do that. So I don't wish it up on anyone else.
Why do you wind Steve up then?
I don't wind him up.
You
I don't
do.
wind
You
him
have
up.
done, but no, come on, let's not argue. We're getting on well then. Come on, Carl.
And, like, the teachers, because I'd lived on this estate, right, loads of stuff used to get nicked and go missing and what have you.
Blackboards,
And
desks.
their way, no, like the telly and the video,
headmaster.
telly video
Oh, really?
and stuff like that, and the projector thing and all that. So the way they used to try and find it, right, my little conspiracy, 'cause you know I'm good at them.
Yeah, yeah.
What they used to do is set your own work and say, right, draw like a bird's eye view of your house. Right? But draw everything you've got in your house in it as well. So if you've got, I don't know, if you've got anything in the loft, make sure you draw it.
Right. So kids would come in with overhead projectors.
Well, that was the idea, I think, behind
Guns.
Yeah.
it. They wanted loads of those.
Anti-aircraft guns in the shed.
So the picture you did for your home, presumably
Got nothing from me.
nothing.
I didn't do it.
I'm not. He used to hand it in, empty house. I'm not a grass.
Yeah.
And nor the illegal immigrants living in the
Just a
kitchen.
picture of your Auntie Nora.
Yeah. What's that? Is that? Have you been
tennis ball?
stealing tennis balls?
Yeah.
No, that's not a split tennis ball. That's my Auntie Nora's.
But what about all the stuff? What, didn't you have to draw all the stuff that your father had nicked? All the stuff, you know.
Now, there was a story in America about, just backing this up again, 70-year-old fella,
70-year-old fella, okay.
little bald head,
Yeah.
right? Probably no teeth, and that.
Probably, yeah.
Nappy and that, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Goes
It's
into
like 70-year-olds pop the old nappy on your 70th birthday, take your teeth out.
goes into an off licence to get some beer. Doesn't get served because he didn't think he was old enough.
Right. Okay. Right, okay.
Wait,
Right, Carl's back.
Wait a minute,
No, I'm
sorry.
okay.
So they thought he was
Right,
a
okay, forget
giant
it.
baby that had walked into an
Forget
office.
it.
Weird, isn't it?
Steve, forget it.
Carl, please. I
Forget
need
it.
Carl to answer.
No, I mean, that's the story, but it's weird, isn't it? That's
Well,
what
it's
I'm
not true.
saying. It just backed up
The
my
guy
theory
in an
again.
off licence thought that a giant baby had
A
waddled into an off
70-year-old
licence.
wrinkled baby in an overcoat, sucking Werther's Original, smoking a pipe and going, I can't believe it, the price is not the same as they were, right, was a small child.
Well,
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Play a record.
no, but as long as you say something good about someone, you can also say something bad about
Go
them.
on,
How does that work?
Go on, and give us an example.
Well, Chinese,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
great people, right?
Good.
Really,
that's
the
the good
women really good looking as younger people.
No!
They get
What are you
older.
doing?
I'm just saying, as long as you know what I mean, there's good and bad and everything.
For every
Well, what are the
positive
old
and
ones
negative.
like?
They don't age well.
What do you mean?
The fella in Karate Kid, the teacher, was only about 36.
We started this. We started this. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. Let's have a look. This one's from some woman, right?
Yeah.
And she was taking part in the London to Brighton bike ride, right? Lovely day, weather's good and everything.
What year?
She's just a couple of months ago. She's done all the training, right? Done all the training and stuff. Got a brand new bike for it. Got a little puncher outfit and stuff. All set for the day, right? It's a nice day. She sets off. They all start pedalling and that on the way to Brighton, right? So she knows the route and that. Got little headphones on, cycling along. Suddenly,
Right, okay. I'm sorry now. If a cyclist overtakes her and it's going really fast and it's sort of hunched over, but it's got like lots of cycling gear on and a helmet and goggles, and they can't tell what it is, but they just know it's like a little hairy fella who hasn't bothered shaving his legs, which is weird, isn't it? Because cyclists usually shave their legs, and this bloke had really hairy legs. But and it won. They gave it the medal. It won 3 years running. They gave it the key to the city. It had its own game show. And then someone said, "Hold on, though. This fella's sort of hunched over, and he's only 3'5", and his arms are longer than his body. It's a chimp. If it goes anywhere near that, we're never doing it again."
more monkey news next week.
She's cycling
So
along.
anyway, she's cycling along, right? And this tricycle.
I couldn't predict that.
There's always one element you can never anticipate.
Yeah. Got a kiddie's tricycle with a little kid on it. Little hairy kid with a helmet. Okay, just go on then.
Well, the tricycle comes
Whizzing past. Yeah,
him.
strong legs, don't they, chimps?
So she's thinking but didn't get a chance to see the thing.
Oh, yeah, couldn't quite see the cyclist. Oh, God! You bald mank git. Go on. Yeah, research scientist Carl Pilkington.
So anyway, she gets to the end line, right? And they got talking. It was a nice day, nice race and all that. So did you see a little thing on a tricycle?
Thing? Well, a person, surely, just a human. Did you see that? No. Did you see that bloke on the tricycle?
So anyway, turns out
Tricycle.
Yeah! Well, why did you say thing? Well, no, there's no suspicious. I mean, why did you say, did you see that fellow on a tricycle?
so it turns out
Go on.
It was a chimp.
You're joking!
Right.
Well, Christ almighty, there you go. Unbelievable, and it was a chimp all along.
So anyway, right, so the woman's like,
We're never doing this again.
checking out the news, right? There's nothing on it. She checks out XFM Monkey News.
Right, okay, I'll
I
stop
don't
you there
mention
again. Right, if it turns out she doesn't lose, right, and the circus goes, we're looking for our chimp, it used to ride this tricycle, and it escaped with police chasing it.
No. So she listened to XFM, see if I'd picked up on the story.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't have it and stuff. So she got in touch with the organisers of the London to Brighton bike ride, said, look, saw a little hairy fella.
Why did she care?
Because she wanted to know. She thought it was a bit odd.
Well,
Turns
why-
out it was a chimp. They weren't happy about it. Of
course not.
Because now the owner of the chimp wants to enter it into the Tour de France.
No! I'm gonna die! Oh, God!
In 2005.
Now, a couple of questions. I trust you'll be able to answer these. Go on.
Oh, God! Steve, help me out.
How did it get hold of the tricycle?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. That's not an important point.
Like, that's important.
How
What's the
did
matter
it-
with you, Steve? He doesn't know that.
How did it know to... well, firstly, how did it know which way to cycle? But more importantly, how did it know there was a major bike ride on
Following,
that
just
day?
following the crowd,
No,
Steve.
no.
What's the matter with you?
The owner of it had trained it and stuff.
No, he hadn't!
It had already done the run beforehand, before the big day.
No, it hadn't.
Like I say, it wants to do the Tour de France in 2005.
No, it doesn't.
But there's something about animal rights. If they don't let it enter, they can kick up a bit of a fuss.
The animal rights is that it's cruel to make a chimp ride a bicycle.
Not if it
that
wants
it's
to.
prejudice that it'll go, is it because I is hairy? You idiot!
Right? So,
Wow, that is the worst. That is the worst one yet. Absolute twaddle. Absolute rubbish, Carl.
Have you got a tricycle?
Unbelievable.
Just play it to you and
Whatever,
you
Carl.
try and work out what the phrase is.
Sorry, it's a phrase that might have once been uttered on this show.
It was said last week.
Oh, right.
All right, okay, brilliant.
All right, here we go.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
Right, I
Right,
can't hear
right. I know what that is. That's ridiculous.
What was
Right?
it?
What it is it's something like, right? You're only 16, but you look 26. The Chinese look older than they are or something, because he said that. The Chinese don't age well. That is mental, Carl. It's the most convoluted, ridiculous, racist piece of material ever to be uttered on radio.
Play it again.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
That's...
Okay, you're just 16 and looking all 21. That's because the Chinese look older. Carl, you've gone mental.
All right.
Oh, that is amazing. So, there you go, the well-known phrase, you're 16, looking all of 21, that's because the Chinese look older. Well-known phrase there, sweeping the nation. That'll be up there with "was up," and "shut that door." If they do a poll, right.
Okay, play it once more. We're after the artists.
Just the artist.
Yeah.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
That's...
Unbelievable.
All right, let me tell you what's the Auntie Nora thing? Sorry, I should... Auntie-X.
Auntie-X.
What did she... Why is she upset?
Well, he mentioned her in Zoo. He did this thing for Zoo magazine, and he mentioned about when he looked up her dress. She had a.
yeah, by accident, remember?
I'm not suggesting you were going around looking up your elderly relatives' dresses in case they weren't wearing.
For people who've not heard Carl talk about this in the past,
Yeah.
just explain quickly again what we're talking about.
Right.
He didn't want to talk about it at all.
When I was a kid, right, Auntie Nora used to come round. My auntie used to come round.
As if there's any ambiguity now. Yeah.
My auntie used to come round and that and stay, right? And I'm sat on the floor watching the telly, right? She sat on the sofa with a caftan on. I turned round, right, and it was there.
It was looking back
at me, right, and we've mentioned this, and Ricky sort of said, what did it look like? And, you know, a split tennis ball came to mind. That's what we talked about, right? So anyway, Zoo magazine, when they did the interview...
And she's the one that used to put a valance on everything, isn't it?
Well, not everything, obviously. So anyway, so I've done this...
So you did interview in Zoo?
Yeah, and like they said, you know, do you... Again, it was like, you know, do you plan stuff and do you worry about stuff when, after you've done the show, you're worried you've upset anyone? And, you know, I was saying, really, I forget people are listening. And, you know, we're just having a chat with mates and that. I said, but now and again, I do worry, when I'm on my way home from the show and that, and I'm thinking about what we've talked about. And I was saying, you know, the Auntie Nora incident.
Yeah. Incident? Like Watergate?
Yeah.
And anyway, so this was in there, right? And I was saying in the magazine, you know, but I think I got away with it. She doesn't listen to the show, but you know, and I don't think she reads Zoo magazine, so
she's more of a nuts woman. Sure, yeah.
So anyway, so my mum calls up the other week, right? And she goes, wish you wouldn't, you know, talk about Auntie Nora and that. And I was like, oh, so how do you know about that? She goes, well, one of your cousins have called us up and said they've read the article about it. So yeah, that's why we don't want to talk about it, really.
So he stitched you up.
So do you know what Auntie X is made of this? Do you know if she was upset or not?
Well, she doesn't know about it.
Because I mean, maybe she's always thought it looked like a split tennis ball. Maybe you're just in sync, you know, because you're relatives and stuff. Maybe she knew instantly. Even if you hadn't named her, she'd have thought, hang on, I farted for 5 minutes once.
Yeah, that's not going to be ambiguous,
could well
is it?
be me.
If you hear sort of like someone who farted for 5 minutes and's got found like a split tennis ball, you're going to go, I wonder if he means me.
Yeah.
You're going to remember
Or
that.
Auntie Jackie. It could be Auntie Jackie.
Oh, God.
Right, there's a programme on about a spider that's a foot long and eats chicken. No one's talking about it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, well,
I'm sorry. I had to stand up because I thought I was going to explode. What do you mean there's a spider that's a foot long and eats chicken?
There was a programme on about it, about how there's this spider in the jungle or something. But I missed it because it was out, but no one's talking about that in the papers. That's to me, that's a worry.
That's about why? In case it nicks your Sunday roast. What do you mean?
Well, no, but if it likes chicken now, Rick, you know, in like 2 years' time, who knows what it might
I know,
like.
it move up the evolutionary ladder, it start liking Carl, then humans.
No, I'm not saying about the chicken bit, because I eat chicken, that isn't that shocking, but the fact it's a foot long, and no one's, it's just on a Thursday night, no one's talking about it.
What do you expect, though? What do you expect from this? It's got its own PR. What do you want? What do you want this spider to be famous? What? Where is it? Where is it?
It's in the jungle.
It's not worrying anyone then, is it? It's not going to move.
Well, why,
it's not
going
going
to...
What do you mean?
What do you mean it's not going to move?
Well, how's it going to get here? Is it going to get on a bus?
There's ways and that, they come in bananas and all that. So, don't worry about it. So, I'm not, if you're going to be like that. No, what? I was walking down the street and this pigeon, sparrow, whatever, did its thing. And it landed on my ear. And I was like, oh, God. So, I thought, well, I'm not going to wipe it off.
Why not?
Because I don't want to get it on my hands. Right? So I thought I'd leave it till I get home. So it's probably
So
about...
you went to work.
Oh, met some friends. Not about midnight.
Went on the pool.
So I was best man, so often speeches. That is brilliant.
No, it was on there for, I don't know, half an hour or something like that.
Brilliant.
Get home and get
Did it
some...
not kind of slowly ooze down your neck?
No, it's fairly hard.
Right.
And sort of corroded my ear.
What are you talking about?
Why did you leave it there, though? Why not just wipe it off with something? You can't, I can walk round with...
Pop in a newsagent and buy some tissues.
But then I look stupid.
What?
do you mean?
Where is the bird's muck on your ear?
Brilliant. They're all wearing that now.
But no, what is it they eat?
It's alkaline. No, it's really strongly alkaline, isn't it? Or is it acidic? I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Is bird milk acidic or alkaline? But it's corrosive, yeah.
Weird,
Yeah.
isn't it? Weird.
Weird, isn't
It
it?
didn't seep into your brain.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Excellent. Okay.
Right, where were we?
We would just start again. There's some people making a documentary. For what? Okay.
Making a documentary in the jungle and that.
Right.
Stumble across a little gang.
Okay, come on.
All right.
A little gang of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So the camera crew are there filming it.
Yes.
Everything's going normal.
It's all fine,
Nothing odd about it.
Okay. They're not running a restaurant. They've not got any barber shops. Nothing.
No.
Just regular monkeys going about their business. Yeah.
So anyway, what normally happens is the monkeys stick with the partner.
They already do what?
They don't sort of sleep around and that. Once they
Oh,
find,
right,
once they
they're
find the
monkeys.
girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
they stick with them, right?
Okay.
But anyway, they were watching this one, right? And it's going around a bit, sleeping around,
Oily.
and it was getting fatter. They thought this is a bit odd,
Yeah.
right? So followed it round and see it having it away. Turns out, little prostitute.
Oh, God!
It's a little monkey prostitute.
And it was getting fatter because it was charging them bananas.
What a load of old rubbish.
It's charging them bananas! What was it, a boy or... It was a...
Woman, little woman monkey.
That's the most extraordinary monkey news I've ever heard.
Oh! That is genius!
Has this documentary been televised?
I don't think it's been on yet.
No.
And that's all the information you've got.
Yeah.
And is that's one banana for everything?
Now, half a banana is for...
Just oral.
A poor job.
Right.
If you want full-blown monkey sex, it is 2.5 bananas.
Sure. A monkey football team?
Yeah, in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah.
Got all the team members there, right?
Right.
All the different things. Little goalkeeper. Apparently he's on transfers from some other club. But the bit that got me attention is, apparently he's a holder of PhD of physics. Do you want to have a look at that?
What, the
please?
goalkeeper?
Yeah, just the goalkeeper. The others haven't done that much.
The others haven't done that much! Well, I believe that he's got better exam results than you, Carl, but I don't believe he's got a PhD in physics. Obviously...
Do you know what the name of the team is? Coconuts.
Oh! So if the Telegraph are listening, that is the sort of quality entertainment you get. Well, you don't anymore.
Let's just put a song on then.
Yeah, that's the end. Goodbye, everybody.
Well, in I didn't do that well at school and that, right? But we had biology, and I didn't take much of it in. But there was one day when it was about, knob news and stuff,
Sure.
and it was all about how blood, is what makes
Engorges
yeah
the erectile tissue.
Sure.
yeah. It was all about that. And there's this girl in our class called Paula, right? We sat there watching it, and she fainted. You just heard her go, oh! And she hit the floor, right? Because we were all sat on top of the desk watching this. But I wasn't that interested in that.
No.
I wasn't looking at it and that. But Paula, right? She fell over. And the funny thing was, right?
What was it? A video?
Yeah, a video of like this blood
Yeah.
doing the business to
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
this fella's member, right? And she fell over, like, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's up with her?" And the teacher was trying to like wake her up and give her water and that. And it was really weird because then the nurse came in, and yet this video was still playing. And the nurse came in, what happened? Well, have you seen this?
Yeah.
And you could hear, like, then it was going on to, like, sex education on the video. It was all done from start to finish. What happens, da-da-da-da, and by the end, and she was still out cold by the time it got to, like, and then they had a baby,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And that just reminded me
So
of it
it
then.
seems to me that was her sex education class. She fainted when the penis got erect, and when she woke up, a baby was born. That's probably what she thinks happens. She's wandering around now.
And
She sees
the whole class just missed out a bit because they saw
yeah, if
someone's
she's ever
face.
with a bloke and he gets an erection, she just goes, "Oh no!"
But
and
that's
gets
it.
pregnant.
She was a bit of a class tart, really. That's why everyone was like, "What's up with her?"
Carl.
No, but she was. Everyone was like, "What's up with her?" It's not as if she's not seen it before. But just reminded me then. Weird.
This is the book that you nearly reading, but you realised all the pages were in the wrong order.
Yeah.
He bought a cheap book, right, at a second shop, started reading it, loving it, then he started reading about this bloke, and he went from jail to school, and then he looked at the page numbers and they were all out of order.
How annoying is that?
I mean, never read books, do you?
I never read one, right? And Suzanne, it was a weekend when we were going to Hastings because you two had done me head in, right? She said, "I'm going to take you away so you relax and what have you." So ended up not relaxing because it was like putting a jigsaw together. I'd started reading it on the train, thinking, loving this. It's a really interesting story about this fella who, you know, didn't have a great life as a kid, starts getting into a bit of crime, what have you. Turns out to be the governor. But it wasn't as easy as that because, like you say, it was started off at school. Then he was in prison. And he was like, oh God, he started young. And then next thing is like married. And he's like, hang on, he's like 12. And then he's had a heart attack. And then like, but I just thought it was part of the thing because I read chapter 1 and then it did say chapter 12, but I thought, right, it's like that sort of done in that stylish way that everyone's doing.
What kind of a biography
Look at that, it went
starts
there.
messing with the medium?
I was born in the East End. Take one onion, add some, this is
But it's the idea that an East End villain's going to write his autobiography, but think, yeah, I'm just going to play with the form a bit. I'm going to get quite postmodern with this.
No, but you know what I mean?
Barely able to write, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
you
did it
could say that about him, Steve. I wouldn't. I think he's an educated man. Go on, next, Carl.
But yeah, just because it was like 2 for a tenner, that shouldn't be like, oh well, you know, you got a good offer. So
No, that's rare.
It is,
I'm
yeah.
sure the bloke selling it did not know that the pages were out of order. Let's face it, Carl. You read it and didn't realise.
Yeah.
So you
I
can't
love
really
the fact
blame
that
him.
you got almost half the way through before you realised.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know.
Still, that'll teach you, and that's put you off books for life, hasn't it?
Well, I don't like getting into books now. I just read snippets of information.
Play record. Play record.
No,
You got confused and you said, you know, oh God, it's like a child or a cat when it's confused. He went, Steve reckons in ancient Greece, right, it was better to shag a bloke than a woman. And I went, well, yeah. I mean, that's about the male being sort of a first-class citizen, much better, wasn't it? An aspiration
the
to
point
sleep with
was,
a beautiful
Carl, that-
man than a beautiful woman.
Women were lower-class citizens,
Yeah.
so therefore men were seen as higher class. So to have sexual relations with a man, there was no shame in that.
No.
In fact, it was looked upon
And I
as a
said,
good thing.
well, it's, you know, ancient Rome. I said, even Nero, he'd sit in his big jacuzzi and he used to get, you know, pretty boy men to just go into the water and just nibble at his testicles while he was having a watch.
do that.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not a gay fella.
No, well, no. I mean, you know, I don't know about Nero, but I mean, it wasn't a case of a big delineation between what was heterosexual and what was gay. It was just, you know, whatever you.
So what did this fella do then? This one who's having his.
Well,
Oh,
he
his
was
little testicles.
pretty much top boy, Nero, for a while,
He was in charge.
and you know, and you did what you were told. If Caesar or
But why were people going round there? Why didn't they go? Oh,
no, they weren't dropping in. It wasn't like the doors opening. I was going to see what Nero's doing. It's not like when I pop in here to see you.
Normally what would happen is he'd say, come back to my place, I got a book for you.
Yeah,
You pop in,
but
he'd come out in his pants,
You'd
Elton
probably-
John would be on.
You'd have probably been like a delivery boy or a stable boy or something, you know, and you'd have popped round there and you'd have gone, there right, Nero, as the tablets of stone you wanted, and you go, Pilkington, why you are here? Pop under, I don't know why he's French.
What is that?
I don't know why he's French. Just pop under the water and nibble at my testicles, and you'd have done it.
Because he was Nero.
I wouldn't.
You would have.
There's no way I would have done.
Yeah, well, you would
What
have.
have I done? I've dropped a pizza off.
Yeah,
Why-
you
why
pop
am I
round to
there?
Nero's place with a pizza.
Right. Right, I'd say I've done my job. Right?
Yeah.
That's not the sort of tip I wanted.
No, he'd have said, get the little baldy chap to nibble at my testicles, and you'd have run the water.
I wouldn't have done it.
No,
Well,
you
you
wouldn't
haven't
put me head
done
on
it.
the
You
wall.
haven't done it, right?
No, I wouldn't have done
Well,
it,
can I just say this, Steve? Not only would you be nibbling his testicles, you'd have been going mad. You'd have been noshing him just for extra. You'd have had
You'd have been doing everything he wanted. You'd have been going, he'd have gone, I didn't ask you to do that. You'd have been going mental. They'd have been chewing, slurping, smacking, poking. He'd have chopped, you'd have gnawed his packet off. You think you're eating Walker's crisps? There'd be bubbles, there'd be blood. Oh, it'd be horrible.
This thing, I don't know the full story. I don't know how it happened, right? But little Russian fella.
Yeah.
He was sort of having sort of emptying his bladder, right? And somehow electrocuted himself. Right. And sort of did a bit of damage.
How did he
I don't know.
some
I don't
live
know.
wires or something?
Something like that. So
Did
anyway,
it damage to himself or to an electric fire or something?
no, to himself.
To himself.
Yeah. And so the doctor.
Didn't slip and curling tongs went up his arse when he was pissing, because that's happened a lot in
Yeah, we've all been
hospitals. We've all shoved the old curling tongs up the arse when having the piss.
Right. So I can't even be bothered.
No, go on, we're interested. We're interested. Come on, we're interested. Don't
You
give
can't
up.
be bothered. You get Mondays off. Do some work.
Right. So anyway, so the doctor says, "Oh, it's not looking good. We'll have to take that off."
What?
And he's like,
A novectomy? Yeah. Really?
But the funny thing is, right?
Nothing funny about that.
They've done. You're doing me head in. You're doing
Just
me head
tell
in
the
today.
story.
Just doing me head in.
Oh, you can chill out on Monday.
I've only got 15 minutes, but I'm going to talk to you every Saturday. I'm going to get the money's worth out of this, because you get Mondays off, and I can't bear the fact that someone's getting away with something like that, because it's terrible. So you're going to stick this out, or you're going to have to work Mondays. So take it on the chin, right? Okay.
Just finish the story.
Yes.
I command you.
Just do it.
Anyway, so he said, you know, will you be able to sort me a little knob out?
A prosthetic
Now,
cock, yeah.
Yeah. But they put him out for the operation.
Yeah.
He woke up.
Yeah.
Right, and he's thinking, oh, thank God that's over and done with.
Yeah.
They've only grown it on his arm.
What are you talking about? You twat. Shut the don't you an idiot. What do you mean they've grown it on his arm?
Apparently, like, that's the way they do it.
Oh, yeah, but to then put it on... That wasn't a mistake. It wasn't Dr. going, did it go there? Some bloke I didn't do a degree.
Are you a real doctor?
Yeah, yeah.
No, but why put it there?
Because it's got to grow. It's got a graft there, so where they can control it. To skin tissue.
But on your arm.
Well,
But they're
On your
going to remove it
back
from
or-
the arm itself. What do you mean on the back?
on your back.
Somewhere, well, we can't wear a T-shirt.
Yeah, but you could have a
ridiculous.
He's
quick...
in hospital.
This way you can still have a little tug, can't he?
But they'll leave it there for quite a bit. It's not... Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be like, oh, it's just there for a few days.
Yeah.
It's there for a bit. That's not good, is it?
So he's got a cock on his arm.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What do you mean, what's up with that?
Well, I mean, you could say it's a thumb or something, couldn't he? Yeah.
But they remove it.
Be good
And
for
attach
hitching.
it down below
If
later.
if you had a knob instead of a thumb and you went hitchhiking, just tickle it. They can see it like a mile down the road, couldn't they?
Boasting.
Yeah. If I'd lost my knob, I'd go, oh, I'm not going to have all that stuff. Just whack a pair of tits on me. Do you know what I mean? I think, oh, just forget it.
But why not just put it where it should be straight away instead of messing about?
Where should it be straight away?
You know.
On the
you
forehead.
Listen, are we doing a competition?
Let's
then?
play
I
a
can't be
tune.
bothered.
Let's
Come on,
let's
Carl, you can't be bothered. Right,
bit
okay,
of
we're
rainbow,
going
bit
to
of
scrap
rainbow,
this
yeah?
and you're going to work Mondays again.
But how
There's-
can you explain, for instance, travelling on a bus or a coach? There's some
The only
seats I can't sit in.
disadvantage is people look. I've seen people stare at you, but they stare at me because I've been on the telly. What's that a disability? People being
Yes,
recognised.
but you could avoid that by not being on the telly. It's your choice. This is
Yeah.
my point. It's your choice.
Yeah,
it's the same as
okay.
the big fat people.
And
It's their
yeah.
choice.
It's a different sort of stare, isn't it? I've been there.
Yeah.
When, the sort of stare that you get and the sort of stare...
Well,
Steve
obviously,
gets.
I'm going to. Sorry, Steve, but I'm going to, follow up this inquiry. What do you mean, Carl?
No, I'm just saying it's more of a stare of fear than... Like, with you, they go, oh, it's him.
Yeah, go on.
Whereas with you, it's more like, jeez.
Do you know what frustrates me? I thought he did deserve having a Monday off. I've changed my tune.
Yeah, yeah.
I was sometimes you don't realise this, listeners, but sometimes I'm an intermediary. I do step in when he's winding him up because
Yeah.
Carl gets to the point where he's going to explode.
Yeah, and
It's
Steve says,
crazy.
okay, Jeff, leave
And
him
I
for a
step
little while.
in, and this
Yeah.
is the kind of response I get from Carl. This is the kind of back chat I get.
Well, I
from
tell
him.
you, he's a little user.
I'll tell you what, because he's too scared of winding you up because he knows that you'll just walk out of here and he won't get his Monday off.
Absolutely. Play a record, you little oik.
Weasel. You're a weasel.
Because his parents are there, and so he's not doing it. He's not going to turn up because they mentioned it in Heat.
And so his parents might watch.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about that?
I don't like him watching stuff, do I? I told you. dates back to when I did Little Donkey at school. I don't want people watching me.
What's that? Just renew us on Little Donkey. What happened?
It was just, you know, I was there to play the drums and that in We Three Kings. I was loving it, you know. I got a bit carried away.
How old were you?
About 13,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
About 10, no, about 10 probably. innit?
Yeah. Go on.
6.
Between 6 and
Where
13.
old were you? What school were you at?
Okay, you were playing Little Donkey.
So, and,
No.
No,
You
but it
must-
was one of them schools where everyone sort of was in the same one. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, a Manchester school.
What
Just the
do
one
you
classroom.
mean?
Well, it's like you.
What, sweeping chimneys in the day and then 1 hour of learning? What are you talking about? What school were you at? Was it infants, junior or
They
secondary?
didn't really do that. It was
What
one
do
where.
you mean? You did that? They still have to abide by the laws of the land in Manchester.
No, but it was a lot more like you had infants, but you
Yeah.
also had like the older lot. There's kids there who, when you're in the younger year and that, you'd see kids and you go, "Is that?"
Talk English and use terms that people do when they're talking about schooling.
I don't even want to talk about this.
No, how old were you? What oh.
I'm guessing maybe 6 or 7 or 8.
So you went from 13 to 6?
Yeah, but like I say, it's hard to remember because
Imagine if you were giving evidence in a trial.
Yeah. How old were you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really narrow it down other than 7 years either way.
You know, theoretically,
Yeah.
he could get called up for jury service.
All right, Carl, what did you learn?
right. Like I say, I don't like reading books. There's too much to take
Words,
in. And
too
so I
much
haven't got time,
word.
I'm busy and that.
Yeah. I don't like reading books, actually. But go on.
So
But I have done. So, go on.
Right. So I was looking in this magazine, right, and it was more about. Do you know I'm not that impressed with Einstein and Newton and that lot.
No, why should you be? What have they ever done? Go on.
No, but you know the fact. You see the Columbus thing. He's another one, isn't he? Who got a bit of praise for finding America,
Yeah.
and it's like someone else would have come across that at some point,
Yep.
right? And yet, news this week, they've found 2 new types of frog, right? No one's making a fuss, and look how small they are compared to what he bumped into. And that's what I'm saying. People make a big deal out of all these people who are finding stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the next person.
I mean, my head's buzzing, but I can't be bothered. I actually can't be bothered. Don't think this reaction's a good reaction. I don't know where to start with this drivel, but carry on.
Right. So anyway, the next fella who.
The next fella. See, I don't know. You talk in riddles.
The next fella I'm going to talk about,
Go on then.
Einstein.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone raves about him all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying to get into my head,
Yeah.
like why he's amazing and that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, did a bit of reading up on him in this science magazine.
Yeah.
Right. Now I read it. It's only I don't know 200 words, whatever, trying to get across what he worked out. But I read it last night.
Is
and
it
I was
relativity you're talking about?
Like, yeah.
Well, to say yeah, like I just made that word up.
Yeah.
You heard-
yeah.
that
That's
was his
what it
biggest-
yeah,
Okay, so the 200 words, as far as you recall,
So anyway, so I read it and I was like, I don't know what is going on about here, right? So Suzanne was with me. I said, "Can you read this?" She said, "I'm watching Sex and the City." Right? I said, "Right, but can you read it and explain to me what I don't understand here?" She said, "Well, I don't understand it."
It's great. It's like she's thinking, I haven't got kids,
Yeah.
and yet he still wants me to help with his homework, and I'm watching telly.
Yeah.
I've been at work all
So
day.
she said, "Look, go in the bedroom, read it out loud to yourself. Maybe it make more sense if you read it out loud." Right,
Yeah.
so I said, "Right, I'll go and do that then." And it was good because it's cool in there anyway, right? So I went in there. So reading it out twice, went back and I said, "I don't get it still." Right? So she said, "Right, wait 10 minutes and I'll sort it out." So I was sat there looking at it, trying to work it out before she had to look at it. I was like, "No, forget this." Now, what he was saying is,
Yeah.
if you send a man to the moon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He was saying to the fella in the rocket,
Yeah.
it would seem like 20 years to him.
Yeah. Not the moon, but yeah.
No, it was. That's what it said. It said the moon.
Well, it wouldn't because it's only about.
No, but listen. So it took 20 years to the fella, yet people who are on the Earth, it would seem like 2,000.
Yeah, because time is relative, not.
I don't... What do you mean?
Well, listen. The fact is that it's tending towards the speed of light, where it really makes a difference. They've even done it with atomic clocks, where they've sent one up, even in Concorde, and it's like 0.01 of a second difference.
What is the watch?
Yes, yeah, because greater speeds.
But why does speed affect how a watch works?
Right, I don't think this is a conversation.
Look, speed is...
Sorry,
See
stop.
what I mean, though?
Just
See
stop
what
for
I
a
mean,
moment.
Steve?
Right.
See what I've done?
I don't think this is a conversation to be had on a Saturday afternoon on a radio show.
But I'm just saying, though. It's not me, is it? It
is you.
You went quiet, Steve.
No, because
You're having problems
because
there.
I'm not going to be able to explain it to you.
I will explain
in
to
a
you in
light,
a break.
frothy way.
It's speed equals basically velocity equals distance over time. When velocity doesn't change and nor does distance, time has to. That's his theory. Yeah.
Well, I've been to gigs, but the one that springs to mind probably is when I first sort of tried a gig out, and it wasn't a music one. It was Bottom. Do you know, with
Bottom the live thing with
Rick Mail and
Mail
Adrian
and that.
Limited.
Yeah, in
When was
Manchester.
that?
Years ago, because it was in Manchester in about, I don't know, 87, 88 or something, and I was set up for like a blind date. Right, this a mate of mine sort of set me up to see this.
What?
girl.
So you said let's go to Bottom?
Well, I didn't tell her. I just said meet us at the Apollo.
I bet she was over the
8
moon, wasn't
o'clock,
she?
Met her there. Said right. there you go.
Romantic.
Going to see some middle-aged men run round in pants. Brilliant.
Well, it's good. It's one of them things that afterwards you've got something to talk about, haven't you, and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Never
was
mind.
it a good gig?
Yeah, it was all right. Sort of bought some April fruits and that at the start of the night.
Yeah.
I think she liked that, and then we watched Bottom. Then afterwards had a bit of a chat, and then
You didn't see her again, I take it.
I would have done right because she was all right looking and everything.
Yeah.
But when we were chatting, she said she had a problem with a marrow.
What?
And that.
She what?
She had a problem with a marrow.
She had a problem with her marrow.
Yeah.
You mean her bone marrow?
Yeah. I bet.
Oh, I thought you meant she had one stuck of her fanny.
No, just a.
Thanks for that, Rick. That's an image I can't get out of my head.
No, I wondered what. Oh, I see. A marrow. I think it's
marrow.
a marrow. Her marrow.
And is that serious? That? You see,
Well,
I just was put off it because I thought if you
Well,
go
it's,
back
I think it's more serious than a problem with a marrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
with a marrow and that.
It's an idea if you're bored with butt
I
plugs.
love it. I love it. Everything he says is like someone from Kes.
It was just that thing that because.
You didn't want to go out with a girl who might be ill in some way.
Well, yeah, I thought, what's the point in spending time with her, spending money on her and stuff, and then she's going to die on me?
Oh!
No, but seriously,
God!
no, but I'm just, but see, this is what annoys me.
Oh,
You asked me to be honest, but
Oh.
I'm just saying, what's the point in me getting upset and stuff?
No, but it's not the. It was the one thing he said. What's the point in spending money on her if she's going to die anyway? Do you got to realise that's
No.
not a normal thing to say?
No, but what's the point in getting to really knowing someone and thinking, oh, she's really nice, I want to spend my life with her. It's good that she told me when she did.
Carl! What, during Bottom? I can't. This is the most amazing thing you've ever said.
What do you...
Steve, don't you understand what I'm saying?
But no, because... What? Well, firstly, it's the assumption that she's going to drop dead and you're going to think,
I'm
well,
not
let's
a
pour her some
doctor, I'm
April
not a
fruits.
doctor,
I'm
am I?
livid.
I don't know what it means when you've got a problem with a marrow and that, but she looked pretty serious when she was talking about it. So I was like, oh.
Christ almighty!
I don't understand what's so bad about
Play
that.
a record! I'll tell you. I'll explain to you during the break. Play a record.
We haven't really got any monkey news.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
There's nothing going on, seriously.
Don't. What do
The
you mean?
last few weeks I've
But
keep
don't.
telling you.
No. Right. This really annoys me when you say there's something going on because you call it monkey news, but it's not monkey news. You have stories, dubious
Well, I've said
stories.
to you.
But shut up a minute about. It's always chimps, which annoys me. You call it monkey because they're apes, right? And it's often from the 18th century, so it's not news anyway. So don't tell me there's no monkey
No, but
news
what I'm
this
saying
week.
is, if there's monkey news worth doing, I'll know about it. And there isn't anything,
Right,
so let's leave it.
right, okay, you are going to give me some monkey news,
Well,
or... Okay,
right.
well, I'm telling you, you are going to give me some monkey news, or we're not leaving.
Right, well, my mum sent me some. Right.
Right.
I got a little letter from her doing the usual sort of stuff, telling me what she's been up to and that. It was a little thing about somewhere in Lincolnshire or something.
Right,
To
good.
do a bit of monkey throwing.
God, what do you mean?
Because some fella got attacked by one once, and sort of to remember him, on this certain day they go, oh, it was today, wasn't it? And that fella got attacked by a little monkey and that. And the, something about chucking monkeys about.
That's horrible.
I don't know if they're real, I think it's just like to remember.
Alright.
But that's the only sort of stuff that's knocking about out there.
But it's not, that's not
I've got my
monkey
mum and
news.
dad on it, looking all the time.
Yeah, there must be more monkey news than that.
There isn't nothing. I mean, there's bits and pieces. There was a bit about Donna Rare, how when she has a kid, she's going to let a gorilla look after it for a week or something. But apart from that, it's dead out there.
Well, I don't know what that means.
She's well, that's it.
Well, it's
Apparently,
not true. She's not going to let a gorilla look after a
No,
child.
it is. Apparently, a fella works with them or something, and
This is rubbish!
it's not rubbish.
How can she let a gorilla look after a baby for a week?
Well, forget it.
Sorry, have you
Sam,
ever heard her speak?
it is
Can I
a bit-
just give you a little fact here? Someone's emailed in for you, Carl. They've sent an interesting fact for you. I think you're going to be interested in this. Don't read it on the email. Let me read it for you. I think you'll be excited. An interesting fact from Carl. That's from Toby. He says, Attila the Hun punished some fella who annoyed him by cutting off his arms and legs. You'll love this. And stitching his arms back where his legs should be. And vice versa. Look at his face. Look at a little smile that's just cracked on his lips. That is the kind of fact you've been waiting for all day, isn't it?
So go on again. So
Attila the Hun, right? Some guy didn't like. He cut off his arms and his legs, and he stitched his legs on where his arms should be, and his arms where his legs should be. Look at him looking at his body, trying to picture it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let it sink in for a little while, then I'll ruin it for him. Carl, what are you thinking?
I'm just picturing it.
Well, he would have died. It would have been tokenistic. There's no way that person could have lived through it. So it was just for Attila the Hun's fun. He probably put him on a stick outside his gate or something. There's no way in those days that he could have gone through complete limb amputation and.
So would he have wore a jumper for pants?